Test, test. Can you hear me? Test. Can you hear me? I need a quick thumbs up. If you can hear me, all I need is a thumbs up. We'll get this going. All right, perfect. Thank you, Mason. Tom become a member? Uh-oh. Chat. We're going to get all of these, I think. That's unfortunate. I'm going to hide this for now. No one do anything. I'm going to hide this for now. Okay. What is going on, everybody? Welcome in. First like. I appreciate you, Mike. Mike with the upgraded seat there. You see that? It went from green to blue. That's for being a member for 2 months. So thank you, Mike, for that. What's going on, everybody? Max, I see you in here. It is really refreshing to see Chris Sale on the mound. Thank God. It feels so good. Mason, what's going on? VGN, what's up? CW, it was nice chatting with you too before. I like how Cora and the Sox were the first ones to do a shift workaround. That was neat. Yeah, it was kind of cool to see that kind of come into play. What's up, Eamon? What's up, J-Big? What's up, everybody? It feels good, guys. This feels good. We're watching a game together for the first time. Little Red Sox, Puerto Rico. It's like a little warm-up for the regular season because we're going to be doing these streams every week to watch games together during the regular season. So this is like a little warm-up. But we got a lot to talk about, I guess. What's up, Edgar? Red Sox brought the shift back. I want that to be known. The Red Sox were the first ones to do that. CW just mentioned that, yeah. There's something I was going to answer. Oh, did they say how much time they'll think JT will miss? Cora today said that JT was going to be getting his stitches out in 2 weeks, and then they're gonna kind of go from there in terms of when he's going to come back. But they didn't rule out opening day. Which is kind of cool. For just for JT himself. And it doesn't sound like he's going to miss an extended period of time if he is not ready for opening day. Getting pumped 3 more weeks. I know, amen, dude. It is so close. I can taste it. We got a ton of really cool stuff hopefully coming up too on like with this channel. Couple of cool opportunities. What's up, Jack? What's up, Chris? Cody? I always want to call you Chris because it's right at the beginning and then I remember. Where can I watch the game tonight? What's up, Robbie? It's going to be on Nessun. Just on Nessun. What's up, Milan? Are you talking about Rafael Devers' grade? It's unbelievable. In MLB The Show, for those of you who do not know, they like pre-grade every player. They gave Rafael Devers an 84 out of 100. Crazy. MLB TV didn't have it. Sad day. That is sad. I'm trying to think of other places. You could do Robbie. You could do a free trial of Nessun 360. What's up, Clip? Hurry up, opening day. I'm so excited to go to Boston for the first time to see my guys. Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool to see everyone. Or, yeah, to just see people back at Fenway. That's awesome that you're going to Boston for the first time, man. It's a great city. It's a great time. You'll have a lot of fun. What did Judge get? I don't know if they've announced Judge fully yet. I don't know. I would assume it'd be like 94, 95 would be my guess. I can't imagine he's any higher than that. What channel is the game on? It's on Nessun. For those of you who are members and are members of the Bleachers or higher, I'm still trying to narrow down. Like we have those 3 dates, but you guys guessed it exactly even. So Judge is a 99. That's unbelievable. So you didn't make my job any easier. So those of you who are Bleacher members. Trying to pick a day for our members-only stream. Let me see here. What do we got? Yeah, so we're 1 vote off. You don't want to do the Dominican Republic watch party. So we're either doing Sunday the 12th or the 30th, which would be before our live stream, which is public. So we're trying to figure that out as well. So I'll narrow it down. I really like the idea of doing opening day pregame. I think that'll be a ton of fun. Just hang out, talk about, what the opening day might look like. But if you guys really want to just hang out and talk Sox next Sunday, I'm in with that too. Anything but the 30th, please. Oh no. It's a good idea, Jay Big Boy. Let them go. They'll be sorry when he's MVP. So see, right now it's just so split. I hope Chris Sale come back strong. I think he will. I'm not expecting like 250 or 150 plus innings and 30 starts from Chris Sale. I'm expecting like 21, 22 starts from Chris Sale, 110, 115 innings. But even then, if he can do 20 starts, however many innings, and have like a 3.3 ERA, we're going to be in a really good spot. Good news on Paxton today, too. He's throwing. He's doing he may do a bullpen soon. Bayo and Whitlock are doing their first, are doing a live bullpen in-game session type thing this weekend. Man, how are you so ahead, J-Big? Am I not? Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, a lot of positive news. It doesn't look like Paxton's going to be missing a ton of time, maybe 1-2 weeks tops. It doesn't look like Bayo and Whitlock. It looks like for like the first week or two of the season, our rotation's going to look most likely Sale, Kluber, Pivetta, Houck, Crawford, or even Pivetta, Winkowski, Crawford. They might put Houck in the bullpen full time. I don't know. Do I think James Paxton will ever be back to pitch? Yeah, I'll be fine. Also, John Schreiber over Whitlock. Yeah, that was crazy. I think it's because he missed so much time, Clip. Watch on TV. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm always a little bit behind with the stream. Thoughts on Raimel Tapia's spring training and whether or not he will make the roster? I think Raimel Tapia is performing really well during this spring training. I think he's doing exactly what he needed to do. And I honestly think I made a video on how Jaron Duran can impact the 2023 team. I actually think, oh man, Duvall's striking out a lot. I mean, I know we're expecting that, but I actually think that Tapia is going to make the opening day roster as opposed to Jaron Duran. And the reason for that is if they do end up going with a fifth outfielder here and they put him on the big league roster, it's going to be Tapia. And it's because they're going to want Jaron Duran to get constant ABs anywhere, right? It wouldn't make a ton of sense, especially now that he's got a new swing and a new approach, to sit him on the bench and have Jaron Duran in the game once, twice a week, right? Raimel Tapia gives you similar speed, and to be honest with you, do the Red Sox really care about Tapia's development? I'm sure obviously for the benefit of the Red Sox they do, but long term, he's on a 1-year minor league contract with a chance to make the major league roster. He's not a guy you're going to put a ton of faith into really blossoming into somebody, right? What he really is just insurance in the outfield. So that's why, in my opinion, I think Jaron Duran's going to be on the AAA roster, and I could see Tapia getting some time early in the major leagues. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Can let Duran stagnate now. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly why I think that they're going to start Jaron Duran in AAA. Do you think Fitzgerald has a chance to be a bench player on the opening day roster? I said maybe. In my video about Ryan Fitzgerald, and the reason I said maybe is because Yu Chang is currently the only real piece of this Red Sox roster. You've got that pretty much open bench spot, which many people are assuming is going to be Bobby Dahlbeck, but could really be anybody. And then outside of that, your opening day roster is kind of set, right? There's still some spots in the bullpen, but in terms of position players, it's pretty much set. You've got that one spot on the bench, and then you've got Yu Chang, who's signed to a major league deal, excuse me, hold on. Got something stuck in my throat. Oh, we get to see Chris Martin, chat. All right, now that we're back. Yu Chang is signed to a major league deal, right? But it's such a small major league deal that is such a contract that you could DFA, and it's such a contract that if another team wants to pick him up in DFA, you're not going to be like, oh man, why do we even sign him to put him to DFA him later, right? He's in my opinion an insurance policy, and at the very highest he's going to be is a depth piece for this Red Sox team. So his spot is not guaranteed. Ryan Fitzgerald has options, right? And if he hits really well this season or this spring training, it could be an opportunity for him to get onto the bench and be that sort of utility guy for the Red Sox early. Now, obviously, people are mentioning Valdez. People are mentioning other guys like Hamilton, Rafaela is getting mentioned. I don't think those guys are fully ready for opening day major league roster. Ryan Fitzgerald could fit that mold. Who do you think ends up having a better season, Yoshida or Casas? That's a really good question, Eamon. I'm gonna say Casas, and the reason I'm gonna say Casas is because Casas has major league experience. Casas is going to be, and I actually think the World Baseball Classic will be good for Yoshida, but I think in terms of just getting out of the gate hot, I think Casas is going to do that, and I think ultimately that's why his statistics are going to be a bit better at the end of the year overall in terms of production value. I think Yoshida will end up with a higher average. They're going to be close on on-base percentage, and Casas beats him in, as of right now, power. We've heard a lot about Yoshida's underrated power, so maybe that comes into play this year, but we don't know yet. I think Casas has him in power. I think Casas has him defensively as well. So I think overall, in terms of WAR, in terms of like WRC plus and that kind of thing, I think Casas will end up with a better season. What's up, Kev? Tapia is a great ground ball hitter. That is a throwback player on a team without a shift. Could be. Tapia likes to get the ball in the air a pretty decent amount. Sometimes, I mean, from what we've seen, at least with Tapia against us, he likes to put the ball in the air. And so far this spring training, he put the ball on the air. So I don't know. I don't know how much of a real, like, defensive... What's up, Salty? I don't know how much of a real, like, ground ball hitter Tapia is. Walter was really impressive. Yeah, Walter really impressed me during his start. And obviously these guys are still ramping up as well. But to see Walter strike out Francisco Lindor, to see him put out, Javi, to put out Kike, it looks good. What's up, Pac-Man? It's interesting to learn that Fitzgerald was playing through an injury last year. Yeah, that is interesting. But the other thing, too, is he said he was working with what? Like a fractured foot or something? Something like that. I don't remember. But it was at the beginning of the year, which is when he was playing better for Worcester. So I don't know. Is Bobby going to sneak on the roster or be in AAA? That's kind of the debate right now in terms of the last spot on the bench, right? You got Yu Chang, who can be on the bench and not be on the bench. That contract really doesn't mean much. But the last spot, I think they're going to start Duran in AAA. So I think that last spot is either going to go to Dahlbeck, Alfaro, sorry, I'm trying to think of other candidates here. Yeah, I think he's in the running. He could sneak onto this roster for sure. Casas is going to be a day one first baseman, 100%. I wish my MLB TV sub included the WBC. I don't know why it wouldn't. I saw that too, Eamon. I saw that too. Yeah, the only times they've won the Grapefruit League, like been in the like won the division in the Grapefruit League. They've made it to the playoffs, so that's something to keep an eye on too. Casas is impressive right now with his approach. He just has so much on his back right now. Yeah, no. I think yes. He has a lot riding on him, but I don't think it's unfair expectations. I don't think it's anything that he can't handle either. Just based on the way he goes about what he does on the field and off the field, it doesn't seem to bother him with pressure, right? And we saw that last year in a very small sample size. He started off really poorly in terms of actual production at the plate. He still had that great eye, he still had that great approach, but his results weren't really coming together. But he stayed with it. He didn't try and change it. He didn't try and do anything different. And it started to come together towards the end of the season. I think to me, that indicates that, hey, he knows what he can do. He knows how he can do it, and he's not going to differ from it. For me, that gives me a lot of confidence in being able to put pressures on Tristan Casas. Do I think Tanner Houck's going to start the season in the rotation or the bullpen? I think he starts in the rotation. I think it's because of injuries. Duran definitely needs to be in AAA. Yeah, I think he just needs to work every day. I love Alfaro. I don't know why. I just do. Same. He's just a fun guy to watch. Finally on. What's up, Tom? I work tonight, but I'll try to be on as much as I can. Hey, man, don't pressure yourself. There'll be plenty of these. Don't worry. Plus, you have your private stream this month as well. Put Tapia on the bench. Has some power. If the Red Sox have no intention of playing him often in the majors, trade him to Detroit. Maybe. But Badu is a very similar player in terms of results to Duran to Tapia, right? In terms of aggregate results. I mean, he had that really great 2021 season where he looked like a regular everyday ball player, but 2022 he was terrible. I like the landscape of him. I like his tools, but Badu for Duran or Dahlbeck and Tapia, you're giving up two guys to get a guy that's very similar back. Would I trade Dahlbeck or send him down if he doesn't get a spot? I would send him down. To start. I think, even if he is doing well in spring training, but I think if he can do well in the minors as well, I think you could do. I think you could get a better package for him if he's hitting like 312 in the minors or something crazy like that. Then you can sell teams more on trade for him. I could see Whitlock being the setup man, the bullpen to Jansen. No. They're going to give him a full year as a starter. Southwest, of course. I was waiting for the punchline, Eric. I was going to answer that question genuinely. I was like, I don't know. And then I realized it was you who said it, so I figured there was something else coming. I'd rather have Tanner in the bullpen for the simple fact that he's going to have to piggyback some guys. Yeah, that's, in my opinion, that's the perfect role for Tanner Houck. And that's why I think he's going to be such a vital and important part of this team this year, because I think that is what he ends up doing. The reason I say he's going to be in the rotation to start the season is because you've got Whitlock, you've got Bayo, and you've got Paxton, who seem as though, man, what a great play from Christian Koss. Good Lord. That was disgusting. So you've got Paxton, you've got Bayo, you got Whitlock, who are all questionable to be ready for the opening day rotation. And if I'm the Boston Red Sox, I'm not pushing any of those guys because they're all vital to this team's success. So what I would do is I'd put, 2-3 guys that maybe weren't going to be in the rotation to begin with into the rotation come opening day and just put those guys on the 10-day IL. But ultimately, yeah, throughout the course of a 162-game season, I think that Tanner Houck's best role is definitely as piggybacking either Sale or Paxton. Who do I think is the most underrated Red Sox pitcher this year? I think it's going to be Tanner Houck. I don't think he's going to get a ton of love because he's going to be sort of a middle relief guy, but I think he's going to be vital for this team's success. I would also put Cutter Crawford in that. I would put Josh Winkowski possibly in that. And Brian Mata has been lighting it up so far. He's a guy who is not going to spend a lot of time in Worcester. Is Josh Lowe's a what, Mike? Second baseman? Yeah, I would agree, Tom. Dahlbeck provides depth at first base, which is useful with a rookie starting. Yes. Yeah. Plus, you don't know if Turner's going to be ready for opening day. Duvall can kind of play first base if he needs to. Chang can play first base. You do have options at first base, but none of them are true first basemen. And not that Bob's a Gold Glove first baseman or anything, but he does have experience doing it. Whitlock in the pen seems better for the long run for Whitlock. How could thrive in the rotation? I think we're going to need to see. I think we're going to need to see what a full healthy season from Garrett Whitlock looks like. Because last year when he was in the rotation, Whitlock was injured for a lot of it. He was really injured, and that's why he ended up in the bullpen for the second half of the year. I want to see what a full season looks like before I say, yeah, he's better in the bullpen. Yeah, I thought I remember Josh Lowe playing at second base. This guy right here, the interviewing right now, Brandon Walter, looked nasty on the mound today. What's up, JB? Brian Made is going to go into the show this year, in my opinion. I think so, too, yeah. I think he'll end up in the bullpen. There's no room for him in the rotation, but yes. Koss looking nice at shortstop. Yeah, he is. How do I feel about Cutter Crawford in the rotation? I really like Cutter, man. I think that potential's there for sure. Like 100%. I think it's 100% there. Problem is there's just no room for it. Like, I'm not going to put him in the rotation over Paxton. I'm not going to put him in the rotation over Sale. I'm probably not putting him in the rotation over Whitlock or Bayo. Maybe Pavetta. Maybe. I agree, Eric. Yeah, I think Turner will be good to go pretty quickly here. I would agree, Flash. Yeah, I think. Excuse me. Is my camera a little bit blurry, Chad? I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. That might have made it worse. Oh. There we go. Okay. I totally agree with you, Flash. There's Alfaro's a super interesting case because if he keeps hitting the way he's hitting, it's going to be hard not to try and at least find a spot for him on the 40-man roster somewhere. Right? Like, it's going to be really hard for the Red Sox to justify letting him go to another team if he's hitting still 700. So, I don't know. I really don't know what they do with Alfaro. My personal opinion, just add him. It makes sense. I'd rather have Alfaro on the bench than Dahlbeck. That could be an option too because Alfaro can play first base. I don't know how his defense is at first base. He's playing first base in DH for Columbia in the WBC. So, I don't know. If Paxton and Pavetta gets hurt, then Crawford should be in it. Yeah, I would say go Crawford, then Winkowski. Camera's okay. Yeah, I think this looks a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too. Critical. That's the word I'm looking for. I'll be back on later, but I was wondering who you think will be the reserves. It seems like Tapia and Alfaro deserve to be on the team. Yeah, I'd say reserves. Those are probably the two guys I would go with for options, like surprise options for the bench going into 2023. It's either that or they go with like Duran Dahlbeck again, which I don't think they're going to do. Out of all of these Red Sox players off to incredible starts, who keeps it up and who falls off? I think Christian Royal keeps it up. I think Christian Royal definitely keeps it up. I think Casas keeps it up. Reese McGuire I could see falling off a little bit. Kluber, once we get into the regular season, I could see him falling off just a little bit. Bayo finished his top 5 strikeouts leader in the American League. That would be an incredible time. That would be an incredible time. Team DR looks good in their exhibition game versus the Braves. Yeah, they're going to be a wagon, man. They're going to be so good. Them in the United States are just literal MLB All-Star teams. Literal. Like, if you look at DR, right, they're headlined by Alcantara, Machado, Juan Soto, Devers, Marte. They have such a good lineup. It's going to be so hard to beat those guys. My top 4 for the WBC would probably go 1 US, 2 DR, 3 Japan, 4. I would say Puerto Rico. Mexico's a sneaky decent one too, actually. I was watching Panama versus Taipei, China. Neither of those guys are very good. Like you could just tell by like just the caliber of team. You know what I mean? Like they were like Panama blew out China, but you could just kind of, I don't know. Like you know when you're watching something, you're like, wow, this team's good against this team, but man, playing another team, they're gonna be insane. They're gonna get crushed. What's up, Brian? I think Arroyo is another one that needs to have a big year with him being in his prime years. Yeah, I would agree, Tom. This is Arroyo's chance to prove that he's not just a utility player. To prove that, hey, listen, I'm a guy you can put in the lineup every single day and you can have confidence in. Chat, for those of you who upgraded their membership, can you tell me how you did it? I'm trying to, my girlfriend would like to upgrade her membership, but she can't figure out how. He's injury prone. I wouldn't use the word injury prone. I would say unlucky. Because if you take a look, like, shoot, I would suggest, if you haven't already, take a look at my Christian Rose being the savior of the Red Sox. Because I go into detail about his injuries, and there are a couple things that stand out to me where I'm like, okay, he's been on the injured list a lot, yeah, but most of those injuries, all of those injuries, what's up, TJ? Hey, my home and native land, New Hampshire. In the memberships tab, there's a change level option. Okay. If you take a look at Christian Rowe's injuries, right? None of his injuries has kept him off the field for more than 15 days. That's the big thing, right? They're not long-term injuries. I would say half of those injuries were COVID related. Try Chrome on desktop. See, that's what I had a problem with. Yeah, I had a problem with Safari too with that. Okay. Jessica, if you're watching, Chrome on the desktop, try that. So yeah, I wouldn't say Arroyo's injury prone. He has been injured a lot, yeah, but again, a lot of it have been really, really weird injuries. Japan could sneak up on teams with some pitchers no one has seen. 100%. That guy who could throw like 101 miles an hour, yeah. It's incredible that such a small country like the DR can produce such baseball talent. It is kind of, it's cool, right? It is pretty cool to see. They produce so much talent. I'll be back on later. Got to get to work, LOL. Hope I don't miss anything too good. I hope you don't either, Tom. Again, there'll be many of them, though. Is Sale unlucky, too? No. Sale is, Sale's injury prone. You're not a Bostonian? No. I live close to Boston, though. Do you think Paxton starts to feel better and becomes a number 5 starter to give him some extra time? Either that or they're going to put him on the 10-day IL and keep him out for like a week. Because the Red Sox schedule, if we look at it, right? Oh, we're placing the Yankees tomorrow? Interesting. Which one's a good one? I think this one's a good one. Mass Lives always has a good one. So if you take a look at it, right, in the first, week here, you get 2 off days. You're playing Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Detroit. So it's not like you need your ace caliber lineup there, right? Realistically, you want your full starting lineup for this stretch right here, kind of. Where Tampa Bay is going to be a pretty decent sized series. We're going to want some good pitchers in there. Angels have a sneaky decent team this year. Minnesota has a sneaky decent team this year. Milwaukee, they have good pitching, right? So you want your fully healthy line or rotation by the 10th of April, but you have from the 30th to the 10th. So you have like 10 days to really sort of get your, ducks in order? Eggs in order? It's something like that. You guys know the phrase I'm trying to say. So you could start the year here with Kluber, Sale, Selfishly, I really want that because that's what right now it's lining up like Kluber's going to be our opening day starter. Selfishly, I really want that because I'm going to the first, and I would love to be there for Chris Sale's first start. But right now it's lining up to be Kluber, Sale, Pavetta, most likely, Houck, Crawford. And then if you get to, this series right here, Detroit, then you can start introducing, maybe throw Paxton in starting in Tampa. You throw Houck in, or Whitlock in here. You throw Bayo in here. And you get your full rotation ready to go for this stretch, and then obviously through the rest of the season. So, I just don't think right now it's all that important. You know what I mean? Josh Winkowski has a good spring. Do you think he continues his momentum into the regular season? Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of improvements from Winkowski, especially with the off-speed stuff. What's up, Lil Perp? Red Sox Nation forever. True. So yeah, I think Josh Winkowski can have a little bit of a glow up this season, and nothing crazy, right? I'm not expecting him to break the rotation or anything like that, but he could be a good 7th, 8th starter for this team for sure. I'm liking Crawford over Winkowski. I agree with that 100%. You're going to April 4th against the Pirates. It's going to be a cold night. That might be cold. Yeah, I specifically chose one that's going to be like starting at 4, so it's not super cold. Anyone know who is the Saw Man? Who the Saw Man is on Team Japan? Not sure. No. Arroyo might be trade bait. No. They're not trading Arroyo. Not right now. I could see Mondesi if he has a good first half, him being a little bit of trade bait, but they're not going to get rid of Arroyo. It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold too. Don't need these old pitchers pulling muscles. That's probably going to be a factor. I mean, that's always a factor every year in Boston, especially at the beginning here. What Red Sox players are leaving for the World Baseball Classic? Verdugo, Duran, Devers, Yoshida, Kike, Alfaro, Richard Blyer, Wyatt, Ryan Sheriff. I think that there's one more. That might be it. Kenley Jansen may join Netherlands. May join the Netherlands if they make it to the quarterfinals. So, I mean, the good news with the Red Sox is there's players playing like all over the place. So we're gonna see a pretty decent amount of really interesting Red Sox matchups too. Unfortunately, no players from the Red Sox playing for the USA. Obviously, Trevor Story was going to. It is really weird seeing Kike play against the Boston Red Sox now. It feels like Kike's been here forever, but he's really only been here 3 years. Kenley is next to Mariano. He's definitely up there in terms of just prestige over his career. I wouldn't put him. I'd probably maybe top 10. I mean, really, Kenley Jansen's had such a historic career as a closer. So happy the boys are in Diego this year. You mean Xander? Not sure what you mean there, Nate. No, I know you're talking about San Diego. Are you talking about Xander, Machado, Tatis, and Juan Soto? Good play by Dahlbeck there. Oh, Red Sox play in San Diego. There we go. I was so confused. I was like, yeah, San Diego's got a decent team. Sorry, Nate. You were at Fenway today, Rose? That's awesome. I need to. I'll be there in a couple of weeks. I'm excited. I'm ready. It's not no. It's not your fault, Nate. I'm just an idiot. I was like, yeah. I mean, I guess. Yeah. I'm so excited to get back to Fenway Park, though. Edinson Paulino for breakout prospect of the year. Write it down. Could be. There's a lot of hype. Not a lot, but there's some rumblings about Paulino this year for sure. Why is Caleb Ort still on this team? I felt Franklin Herman was better and had more upside. Yes and no. Yeah, Franklin Herman was younger. I think they have very similar ceilings. I think the Red Sox just liked what Ort was doing last year better. I really didn't see Franklin Herman as the future closer of the Red Sox. We were desperate for it last year. It just didn't work out well. And he had a very small sample size, too. It wasn't like he had a huge sample size or anything. But I think Caleb Ort's on the very short list for DFAs in terms of what the opening day roster looks like, especially if guys like Wyatt Mills or Ryan Sheriff really start to perform for the Red Sox during spring training, or in Ryan Sheriff's case, if he gets onto the main stage and does really well. I think there's, especially with Alfaro and Tapia pushing to make that 40-man roster, I think there's a good chance. I think there's a good chance that Caleb Ort's on the short list to get DFA'd. Sorry. My girlfriend's looking for a laptop so she can upgrade her membership. Where are we? I think Trevor Story was the first player to confirm for Team USA. Yeah, he was. He was super excited about it too, man. I feel so bad for Trevor Story. I really, really, really am rooting for him to come back and just shove it. Bogarts made good plays for the Netherlands. Yeah, I couldn't stay up for that. I wanted to so bad. I couldn't stay up for it. You'll be in San Diego for the Red Sox series. I'd love to. I'm gonna try and get to the Dodgers game. I might buy tickets early for the Dodgers game at Fenway. What do you think happens with Bobby? I think at the very end of spring training, we're gonna see sort of almost a battle for the bench spot between him and Alfaro. I think that's what's gonna happen. So, and if it does end up going to Alfaro, I don't think they trade Bob right away. I think they'll let him play in AAA and see if he can raise his value a little bit. Casas is playing where he left off. I love it. Yeah, Casas is. I'm so excited to watch Casas this year. Um, Not sure why the Red Sox added Yu Chang. Just don't see much upside there. Would rather have Valdez, Dahlbeck as backups. Well, I think the big reason why they decided to go Yu Chang is because of his utility usefulness, right? If you had gotten Andrus, who ended up back with the White Sox, and in my opinion, the reason they didn't get Andrus is because he wanted a full-time position. They weren't going to be able to give him that here. But if you got him, it would be limited to second base, maybe, or shortstop, really. Second base if need be. Same with Iglesias. With Yu Chang, you can put him anywhere on the infield. He's played some outfield before. So you have that sort of utility backup depth, which you didn't have going into the season. You had very specified depth. Mondesi, when he gets better, is going to be a middle infielder. Dahlbeck, Alfaro, whoever ends up on the bench there is going to end up as either a first base, third base, or a first base catcher backup. You got Connor Wong, who is almost strictly a catcher backup. We had been playing with the idea of him playing second base on this channel. That was shut down hard by Alex Cora. So that's, to me, the main reason why they got Yu Chang. They got him for his ability to play basically anywhere on the field. Again, On top of that, too, the Red Sox had some faith in their minor league system to be able to be like, look, we're not going to spend big on a middle infielder because we have middle infield depth within this system. We also have utility depth within this system. And Ryan Fitzgerald, Christian Koss can play about anywhere. So in my mind, they got Yu Chang as sort of a, look, if Ryan Fitzgerald doesn't work out, if Valdez needs time in AAA, if Koss isn't really working out, you've got Yu Chang. But you also, if Ryan Fitzgerald, if Koss, if Valdez, if Hamilton really breaks out this year, they can very easily get rid of Yu Chang. That's in my opinion, that's why they got him. Duran or Tapia to start the season, I would go Tapia, Eric. Who's gonna hit the first home run of the season? My prediction is Verdugo. That's an interesting prediction. I'm gonna go with Christian Arroyo. I think he'll hit the first one. I think Masataka Yoshida is going to be such a fun player to watch for the Red Sox. Yeah. I think he's going to be a big personality guy as well. Excuse me. Say Turner is delayed to start. Who will they fill DH with? Hopefully Alfaro. Or they'll do that, yeah, Pelican. They'll do Yoshida at DH for a little bit, and they'll play Tapia in the outfield probably. Or Ref, obviously, Ref Snyder in the outfield. God, I always do this, chat. If you notice in my videos, my hat is always slightly to one side. I can't put it on my head straight, and I don't know why. Fan from Texas, let's go. Welcome in, Pelican. Ryan Fitzgerald blows. He doesn't blow again. He's going to be a very similar player to Yu Chang. But in my opinion, Ryan Fitzgerald has a higher ceiling. Sorry, chat. I'm trying to work through getting Chrome onto my girlfriend's iPad while also still talking to you guys. It's a bit of a balancing act here, chat. So yeah, there's just so much interesting stuff you can do with this Red Sox lineup, which is something we couldn't say last year. So, as differently of an offseason from what I thought they were going to have, the Red Sox had. There's a lot of really interesting and exciting components of this 2023 roster. Yeah, Shooter, I saw that. He kind of backtracked that though. He kind of said like, look, I'm more so men I'd never let off in my life. And it's something new to me, and it's not something he said he was going to dismiss. So there's that as well. I'm kind of in the same boat with you, TJ. I'm not expecting him to come out and be a super. There's Christian Koss right there, man. Dropping one in. Alfaro's going to get to third. Nope, he's going to stay at second. I'm not expecting Yoshida to be a menacing power threat by any means, but it does look like the Red Sox are going to hit him in the fourth spot. And honestly, that's not a bad spot for him, especially if he does have that power stroke. And again, he doesn't need to hit 35, 40 bombs a year, but hey, 15, 20 is going to be more than we thought he was going to give you. And that puts him, if he's hitting 280 with 20 bombs and he has an on-base percentage of like 350, 360, that would be insane. That would be all-star level, probably in the top 10 MVP conversation type statistics, Okay, all-knowing Corbin, predictions on the IL and bench for opening day. I like being called all-knowing Corbin. Maybe that's what I should go by, chat. What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Red Sea Radio. My name is the all-knowing Corbin. Predictions on the IL. I think Bayo and Whitlock start the year in the 10-day IL. I would say Paxton starts the year in the 10-day IL. Connor Wong seems to be okay. Yeah, I think she would. I think she would definitely never call me that. Yeah, I think that's what our IL looks like. Maybe, maybe, maybe Turner's on the IL. I'm gonna say Turner starts the year on the IL too, the 10-day IL as well. So I think the bench looks something like 4-man bench. It'll be Ref Snyder. Wong, I think, doesn't end up on the IL. I don't think Valdez is fully ready for Major League Baseball yet. I think he's going to need a month or two. So I'm going to go Chang, Alfaro, and that's going to be my 4. Don't put that into existence. Don't put that into existence, TJ. This team needs to stay in plastic. Yeah, it's interesting we're already getting the injury bug early here. But, hey, maybe we get it out of the way. What does Rafael Devers' breath smell like? I'm gonna guess. It smells like bubblegum and wintergreen. Just a nice mix of bubblegum and wintergreen, or maybe it's just a loose leaf. I don't know. And Chipotle. What? Smells like victory. I agree. Did Casas just go opposite? Oh man, there's no win there. That's a 3-run bomb by Casas. What's weaker, the shortstop rotation on this team, or the guys in the booth replacing Eckersley? Ben, it appears as though you have not watched any spring training games because the booth is fantastic this year. Let me say, Will Middlebrooks is doing a fantastic job. Lou Merlone was just born to be in the Red Sox booth. Kevin Youkilis sounds a lot better and much more flowy than he did last year. And the shortstop rotation on this team, again, you must not be watching spring training because it looks pretty damn good right now. Kike looks absolutely fantastic at shortstop, at least defensively. Then you've got Mondesi, who is really doing a good job coming back. He's already playing catch. He's already doing sprints. It looks like Mondesi's not gonna be out for a ton of time. And then you got, obviously, you can throw in Yu Chang, but you got Hamilton, who looks really good. Yeah. I don't know where you've been, Ben. I'll take Merlone over the other two. I totally agree. Lou Merlone was just born to do this job. Chad, I had an idea the other day. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, it's just Red Sea Radio if you want to. I've been tweeting out just video ideas I've had that just don't seem like they're ever going to happen. And one of them was, you guys, I just want to walk a dog with Lou Merlone and just do a dog walk interview with Lou Merlone because he's just such an interesting baseball mind. I also had go to a salon and get my nails painted with Tristan Casas. I think that'd be a funny video. And then I want to interview Blaze Jordan while trying to do the Blazing Wings challenge from Buffalo Wild Wings. You're a Baltimore Orioles fan. Interesting, Antonio. What do you think? How do you think the team's going to be this year? They should bring out Johnny Damon. Damon would be an interesting cat to get in the booth for sure. Shoot, I just opened up FaceTime. You think the Orioles are going to be first place? That's a lot. What about getting Air Jordans for Blaze Jordan? I don't know if that's in my budget, Mike. Can we be friends? Sure, man. Yeah. Be friends. I have no hate towards the Baltimore Orioles. Let me ask you this. How are they going to be in first place, though, with the rotation you guys have right now? Spring training has drastically improved the amount of hope I have for this Red Sox team. Listen, you guys know, I'm a positive person. I've always been, that's just how I am. I want the Red Sox to do well. I'm going to expect the Red Sox to do well until they aren't doing well. But, I completely understand the negativity surrounding this team because things do have to go well for them to be successful. But you look at this lineup right now, right? A fully healthy lineup, right? You're looking at either Kike or Christian Arroyo leading off, Devers, Justin Turner, who many people are like, oh, he's old, he's washed up, whatever. He looked great in spring training. He's a guy who's won consistently with the Dodgers. And on top of that, too, he's a guy who literally transformed himself at the major league level to stay at the major league level. If that's not important, that sort of insight, that sort of knowledge, that sort of mentality is not important to younger players, call me crazy. You can cut off my left arm if you don't agree. Like that is so vital to just the mentality of this team. Justin Turner in that clubhouse is going to be huge. You've got Yoshida, who, again, he's a huge question mark, but everything right now that I've heard from spring training and what we've seen during spring training games looks pretty damn good. Then after that, I don't really know. It's probably either man, I don't even know who comes fifth. Maybe Duvall. So you take a look at the lineup and people are like, oh, it's old, washed up guys, but it's not, right? The argument I hear all the time is this team is old, this team is decrepit, and they only got older players in free agency, but it was to supplement the young talent we have on this team. If you take a look at the entire roster, right, only 2 out of your 3 pitchers are over the age of 35 or 35, right? You take a look at the lineup, only really 2 of those guys are 35, if I'm doing my math right. The bullpen's the same situation. Who's my favorite Baltimore Orioles player? I really like Gunnar Henderson, man. I really like Gunnar Henderson. Mike Mussina, when he was on the Orioles, used to scare me. But, I would go with Gunnar Henderson. I really like him. Obviously, Adley Rutschman's huge, too. But yeah, I like what the Orioles have in the terms of the young core. It's going to be tough for the Orioles to win with the rotation that they have. Obviously, you guys have DL Hall or DJ Hall, and then you have Grayson Rodriguez. But outside of that, aside from the Red Sox, do you see any dark horse teams you think make a playoff push this year? The Texas Rangers, Eamon, it's just so hard because of the division they're in. And I understand, obviously, the wild card's a different story, but you look at the AL East, and you're probably guessing at least 2 of those teams are making the playoffs, if not 3, right? And then in the division they're in, you've got the Astros, who are just a wagon every year. Then you have the Mariners, who may be better than they were last year, and you have the Texas Rangers, who look good, but will DeGrom stay healthy the full year? Talk about injuries. Their entire starting rotation right now is dealing with right side soreness, is dealing with hamstring stuff. We could be a Texas Rangers fan right now, but I could see the Rangers making a push. I could see the Angels, which is the same division. I could see them maybe making a push, maybe. I could see the Twins maybe making a push. The strategy seemed to be acquiring veterans as a bridge players. Could be interpreted as a big vote of confidence in the farm system. I 100% agree. I never pay attention to the age narrative because baseball is a sport where age matters the least, in my opinion. It kind of depends on where you're using them, right? If you have a 30, if Justin Turner was your everyday center fielder, I'd be like, But pitching, man, is such a different game now where you don't need to have a pitcher pitch 200 plus innings for him to be successful in Major League Baseball. So I would agree, yeah. I do, yeah. I watched The Last of Us. I love The Last of Us. Such a good show. Age matters up the middle. Yeah, I would say, if our second baseman was, 38 years old, or if our shortstop, second base, center fielder, I'd definitely be a little worried about it. Catcher too in terms of age. Yes and no at the same time. I think in terms of catching now, they're implementing more of that sort of one knee down sort of stance, right? That could help with knees. But yeah, I think if you can't pop up like you used to 10 years ago, it makes sense. What's up, Darby? Welcome back, J Big. Joely, yeah, he has look. I mean, dude, everyone on this Red Sox team looks good right now. It's insane. It's insane. There hasn't been anyone where I've been like, whoa, what's going on here? The only one who I even had that for an inkling was Tanner Houck on his first start because his control was all over the place. But then I remembered Tanner Houck hasn't pitched in like 6-8 months. Of course he's going to be a little bit squirrely on the mound. Yeah, Duvall could be someone, yeah, but he also signed late. I'm gonna give Duvall a little bit of a longer leash, see how he kind of does. I like this team, and I hope Cora call the goof guys and don't call the good guys and don't call Ort and Brazier. Yeah. Am I worried about Bayo yet? Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I mean, it's just so normal in baseball now for pitchers to be injured. And of course, after, and obviously Bayo's been working on the offseason and stuff like that, but to get into camp and actually start ramping up, of course there's going to be bumps in the road. I'm not worried about it. Are the bigger bases being implemented in the regular season too? Yeah. Yeah, the bigger bases are here to stay. The purpose of it, the way it was pitched, was they're trying to decrease injuries at first and second base, basically. Joely looks good, man. Joely looks really good. That's how they pitched it. But it's pretty clear that with the pickoff rules and with the limited shift and with the pitch clock and everything, they're trying to increase the action that happens during a game. So my guess is that most likely it has a lot to do with increasing stolen bases, but they pitched it as we're going to limit injuries. How would that be an injury problem, though? We've seen it a couple of times. We've seen it a few times, actually, where because of the smaller bases, guys will hit it. So say the base is like, say the regular base is like this big, right? And so when you're running, you can hit sort of the corner, right? And that's when you either go like this and you mess up your ACL, MCL, your heel, Achilles, stuff like that. Or you hit the back of the base like this and you can mess up your knee and stuff like that. But with the bigger bases, right? Say now it's this size. It's harder for you. It's harder for you to get a weird edge, and so that's kind of the idea in terms of limiting injuries with the bases. And then, of course, obviously you've got with the smaller bases, you also have someone over here, right? So the chances that you're going to step on a heel or something like that limits it as well. I hope Casas becomes a star, a 275 batting average, 25 home run guy. I would be happy with a 250 batting average, 20 home run guy. I'd be ecstatic. 255, 21, 22 home runs, I'm in. JD going to be great for LA, 100%. Mookie Betts made a YouTube channel, and he posted a video, his first video, and was like batting practice with JD. Man, it's so sad watching those guys do that together. in a different uniform. Remember when JD injured himself tripping over a bag during the playoffs? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was the weirdest night. Trips, we're trying to make it into the playoffs. Trips on second base. We're like, that's it. Season over. It was good. What's up, Cookie? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Or person, I appreciate that. What do you think about the pitch clock? I really like the pitch clock so far. I really like the pitch clock so far. I think it could be tweaked a little bit. I think that it's weird that it's so different. There's so many different times, right? The catcher needs to be in the box at 12 seconds. The batter needs to be in the box at 8 seconds. And the pitcher needs to be delivering his pitch when the clock hits 0. I think they need to come together with some sort of uniform type thing where if it's like 20 seconds flat, right? And the pitcher, as soon as the batter steps in the box, they can pitch the ball. That's what I think. I am a little worried about the very first season. I think the very first season there could be a problem with later in the season. I would hate for say like the Orioles, right? If they are if they're pushing for a playoff spot and it's coming down to one game and you're in the bottom of the 8th inning, bases loaded, and a guy instinctually, because he's played baseball for 16 years at this point, right? Instinctually just takes a second and breathes in this huge moment, and all of a sudden that inning's over and it kills a rally, and that's your season. That's when I'm going to have a problem with it. But for now, I really love the pace. It's going to make, just on a personal level, right? It's going to make these live streams much more entertaining, in my opinion. It's going to make just covering baseball a little bit easier, in my opinion. And not that I didn't love covering it last year, but instead of staying up till 11:30, 12 every night watching a game, I'm staying up till 9:30, 10, and then I could have time to record and edit after it as well. It's gonna be good personally, but overall for baseball, I think it's good. Bayo pitched well in the big league last year, so I hope he already proved he's got it. There's nothing to worry about. I would agree. I just want him to be healthy and good to go. It'd be nice to see an increase in stolen base numbers. Players used to do 50 bags in the regular. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. It will be nice. It will be. I think there is definitely going to be more stolen bases. There's already, in spring training, a lot more stolen bases than we saw last year. Do you think Alex Cora is happy with upper management? Man, that's a good question, Ben. I don't know. I really don't know. I think he's kind of like the rest of us. I personally think Alex Cora is happy with the team that's put together right now. Yeah, I think he's okay with it. I think Alex Cora more than anyone knows the longer term plan for what the Red Sox can look like in 2, 3, 4 years. And I think he has a pretty good idea of what this team could look like come 2024, 2025. And I think he's all right with it. Okay, so Ben, why ask me? If you already have an opinion and you're not going to believe anyone else's opinion, why ask? I hope the Sox do well. My guess is 75 wins. They're still my team. I think they'll be better than last year. Do you think we can end in the top? In the top what? Of the division? It's going to be really hard. Hey, Corbin, how many subs have you gained lately? Recently, in the last 5 months? You know what, man? Jay, I don't have an exact number for you. My guess would probably be last 5 months, probably about 2,500, maybe somewhere in there. Did I get my tattoo? No, I'll let you know when I get my tattoo. I'm working on it. Gotta imagine Cora is disappointed in upper management on how the Xander situation went down. Yeah, I don't think he was super pumped about it. I think definitely something where he was a little bit miffed at. One thing I thought was really interesting about the whole Xander situation is that Alex Cora unpromptedly said, look, like, we gave Xander a good offer. We know we gave Xander a good offer, right? A larger offer than what was publicized, which is interesting to me. And I don't see Cora as the type of guy to just, Chaim Bloom or Sam Kennedy or someone in upper management comes up to him and says, look, we need you to go out there. We need you to tell him that we gave him a good offer. That's not really, like, at least from what we know from Xander or from Alex, it doesn't sound like something that he would do. Right? So for him to do that unpromptedly makes me kind of believe there was more to the story, at least a little bit, than what we were told. Right? Than what we publicly know in terms of offers to Xander Bogaerts. So I would imagine Alex Cora is disappointed in the way that they went about preaching, hey, this is our top priority. And I'm sure he's disappointed in the fact that they let it affect this entire 2022 season. But it sounds like he was kind of okay in their approach during the offseason. I agree that this year the bullpen is going to be the biggest difference. 100%. 100%. The reason it's going to be the biggest difference is because last year we gave up so many games in those late innings, Hold on, chat. I'm going to pause for a second. I'll be right back. Well, actually, I'm just going to talk, chat. I'm going to turn my video off for a second. It's off. Sorry, chat. My girlfriend wants to come in and grab her laptop. Okay, hold on 1 second, chat. I'll be right back in 1 second. I'm on the clock here, Jeff.
I'm trying. Sorry, chat.
Okay. Sorry, chat. All right. My bad. I am back. We are back. My apologies. I think we're all set with interruptions for the night, chat. Chemistry of the team is far better than last year. True. Yeah, Jack. And one thing too, Jack, I think that's going under the radar in terms of yeah, I guess so, Mike. In terms of what happened in the clubhouse last year is on top of the Devers Xander talk, which was probably the biggest ones, probably the biggest conversations going on in terms of media and publicly, but you also had guys on this team like Vasquez, like Evaldi, like JD, who all wanted contract extensions and who all wanted to finish their careers in Boston. So you add in Devers being uncertain. On top of that, you have Devers comforting Xander and worrying about Xander because that's his brother, that's his friend, right? You add in JD, who wants to finish his career here, but isn't getting the offers he wants. Evaldi wants to stay here, but he's not getting the offers he wants. Michael Wacha wants to stay here. He's not. Christian Vasquez isn't. So you have all of these older guys. We have all of these older guys who wanted contract extensions, who weren't getting contract extensions, and that's got to be frustrating in terms of the entirety of the clubhouse. Then on top of that, you add in all these young, hungry guys who do want to be here and who aren't trying to do any sort of contract extensions. They just want to play ball and they want to figure out how to make themselves a reputation in the major leagues and be a staple of this major league team, right? So that's kind of a deadly combination right there. You remember there were games where Josh Winkowski or Cutter Crawford had a bad game and they'd go and they'd sulk in the dugout. They'd put a towel over their face. They'd go into the clubhouse after coming out of games. That's not something you're used to seeing from rookies or from really any ball players, because it's just sort of typical that if you get pulled with 2 runners on base in a tight situation during a game, you're going to sit up there, you're going to cheer for your team, and you're going to support and hope that your team has your back. So there were things slipping through the cracks last year, and I'm not blaming any singular person there. I think it was just a terrible combination of stuff. And so yeah, I think going into this year, you have a bit of a different situation. Yeah, sorry, Doug. Doug's unsubscribing because I helped my girlfriend. Just kidding, Doug. We had the Xander Story situation too, and you know, yeah, and you know, Xander seemed professional about it. Story seemed professional about it, but there was definitely at least some underlying like, I don't know here, you know, like Xander had to be, as much as he put on a brave face, as much as he, you know, and him and Story seemed to get along, but yeah, at the end of the day, there has to be something within both of them that are like, this is a little weird. I feel a little weird about this from both sides. So yeah, you add in that as well. And again, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not blaming the veterans on the team last year. I'm not blaming the rookies on the team last year for not, you know, being more supportive. It was just sort of a bad situation overall in terms of clubhouse chemistry. You're right that the Braves' approach with extensions are part of MLB's future. It'll be difficult for teams to rebuild due to less free agent talent. I would agree with that too, Eric. Yeah. I think for the most part, you're going to start to see teams at least try to lock up young stars early. You're going to see them try. Whether or not I don't think every team can be as successful as the Atlanta Braves in terms of extensions, because I think a lot of teams too are going to like the Braves got really, really lucky. Not that it's luck, but they started doing these extensions when their entire core really came up together, right? And obviously they got them at different times, but that core of Albies, Acuna, Riley, right? Those kind of 3 guys sort of came up together. And when they got here, it was like, okay, look at this. You can see the vision. You can see the future of what the Atlanta Braves are going to look like. So then you can start being like, hey, Matt Olson, look, right? We got Riley. We got Albies. We got Acuna. You don't think we're going to be competitive for the next 5-10 years? Then you can go to Sean Murphy. You can go to those guys. And that's how it works out, right? But teams like the Diamondbacks, teams like the Rockies, when their young talent comes up, how are they going to be like, look, Zach Veen for the Rockies, we're going to give you a 10-year extension because, man, we're going to be competitive for 3 of those 10 years and we want you to lead it? No. If I'm Zach Veen, I'm like, no, dude, no, not at all. So on top of taking the approach of approaching guys early, you also need to have that vision. They need to be able to see that vision as well. So there's 2 sides to the story with the Atlanta Braves approach. But I think you're going to see a lot of teams start trying to do it. I think you're going to see a lot of the bigger teams be really successful with it, like Anthony Volpe and the Yankees. Maybe something comes together there. Obviously, with Julio and the Seattle Mariners, they could show him the vision as well. And you might even see smaller teams start doing it too, like the Cubs, the Guardians, maybe on a smaller scale. The Twins could definitely be a part of that. I hope the Baltimore Orioles are, man, because I would love to see the Orioles not be competitive, because obviously that makes it harder for us to get into the playoffs, but just give them something to root for. Yeah, Tampa did it with Wander too. Yeah, I still believe in Story too, Shooter. Winkowski's mustache is sexy. Brendan, I've been begging for the 2023 Red Sox to be the year of the mustache. I think that'd be so awesome. Hot take, is Mookie Betts overrated considering contract with the Dodgers Never shows in the postseason. No. Mookie Betts is definitely, I mean, just statistically, he's a top 5 player in baseball. Wyatt Mills' delivery, yeah. Wyatt Mills' delivery and John Schreiber's delivery are very, very similar. What happens in the lives? We usually during the season we'll watch a game together. We really just talk about, answering questions you guys may have about Red Sox or anything like that. We just sort of hang out and talk Sox. We talk baseball. We talk life. We talk all sorts of stuff. Mookie has a reoccurring hip injury. Last year it was a rib. It's a weird question, Ben. I have no idea what players most like John Morant. Yeah, you're right with that, Shooter. But at the same time, too, I'm sure agents don't hate the idea of getting $200 million. Of getting a $200 million, $300 million contract early in their career, because for an agent's point of view, right? For an agent's point of view, okay, I'm representing Michael Harris II, right? And he had a great rookie year. He came in second for rookie of the year voting. What happens to the agent? What happens to the agent if Michael Harris Jr. has a terrible next 2 years, and then he gets to free agency, and at this point he's a 4th outfielder. And now instead of making $200 million for Michael Harris, right? He made $15 million for Michael Harris. What's up, Trevor? Welcome back in, man. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. So I think the extensions early are going to benefit agents as well, because there's less risk for them. Jess Kazunas has gifted 5 Red Seat Radio memberships to this channel. Paul, Griffin, Anthony, Trey, Brian, welcome in everybody. Everyone. Can we get some claps in the chat for my lovely girlfriend, Jess Kaz? Let's get some claps in the chat for growing the Red Seat Radio membership community. I'm trying to get the chat working. There we go. This year we're winning everything. Remember this? I believe, Adrian. Once again, thank you, Jessica. That was very generous of you. Is this the team that will rep Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic? It sure is. Also, Mike just said he'll Venmo someone. What? Mike Monaco? Mike Monaco says he's going to Venmo someone? I'm not listening to the audio, so I can talk to you guys. Speaking of memberships, chat. Speaking of memberships, if you want to be a member of this channel, gain access to the private live stream that's starting this month, gain access to the pre-series analysis that I'm going to do strictly for members only, there is a link in the description of this video. I can also post a link in the chat as well. So if you were not one of the lucky receivers of my girlfriend's lovely 5 membership gifts, and you want to be a part of it, make sure you guys do that as well, because we're gonna have a ton of fun this year with that. Imagine a rookie signing 12 years, $250 million with a 5-year opt-out option. I mean, yeah, then you're essentially buying out his arbitration, right? Will Chris Sale be an All-Star? What's the minimum innings pitched by the All-Star break? Does anyone know off the top of their head? Because that to me is going to be the interesting factor here. How far you think Worcester's getting this year? They look stacked. They do look really good. I could see Worcester winning it all. I'm actually, Chad, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I'm sure it's fine. I'm going on to the Worcester Woo Sox. They have an official like podcast. So I'm going to be joining that next week. That'll be coming out towards the end of the month, talking about what the Worcester Red Sox are going to look like this year. So keep an eye out on that. I'll obviously be posting it on YouTube, Twitter, everything, so you guys can listen to that. But yeah, so I'll be joining them. But yeah, Worcester looks really, really good so far. And Worcester will be a lot of fun. Worcester's a really, really, really interesting case this year because I think Worcester's going to have a lot of impact on the major league team. Just take a look at their roster right now and their rotation specifically. You got Mata, who has to be a part of this 2023 team at some point. Walter looks really good. Murphy looks good. And then you got the back end of the rotation, probably the front end of the rotation for the Worcester, for Worcester, but you got guys like Cutter Crawford. You got guys like Josh Winkowski who are going to be who are going to be in that Worcester rotation too. So it's going to be really interesting. And speaking of it, look, you've just got Hamilton roping a possible triple to drive in Valdez right now. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm really excited about it, chat. They reached out just a couple of days ago to really get it going. It's I'm excited to hop onto the official Worcester Red Sox podcast. It'll be a fun time. What do you think of Tapia so far? I really like him as a fifth outfield option. I really do. I think Jaron Rand has the higher ceiling, but I would like Jaron Rand to get full playing time. And so I think I would start Jaron Rand in AAA. And if you want to go with two outfielders on the bench, bring Tapia up. I mean, there's nothing to lose, right? I like what he's doing so far, though, Trevor. That's awesome, Shooter. Yeah. The Worcester Woo Sox are a ton of fun. That stadium is awesome. Maeda was throwing darts yesterday. He gave up a laser, but encouraging stuff. Yeah. Maeda's looked really, really good this spring. He looks like he's ready to go. The only thing I think that's left for Maeda is just to prove that he can stay a little bit healthy, which is why I think he starts the year in AAA. Is Hamilton faster than Mondesi? I would guess yes. Yeah. When are the members only live streams? This month, I believe, Eric, we're going to be doing either next Sunday or we're going to be doing opening day, but we're still going to be doing the public opening day live stream. We're going to be doing the private members only live stream before. Trying to figure out which one we're going to do. But other than that, we'll probably do we'll do 4 of our regular public live streams. And then we'll do 1 week where we do the members only live stream, and that'll be a ton of fun. It'll probably be either Thursday or Friday, once a month, and it'll be a ton of fun. I'm still ironing out the details on the stuff, so we're gonna figure it out together, chat, with the members only live streams. I think, once we get into it, once the season gets going, we'll figure out what you guys like best, what works for me the best. We'll make sure that you guys are getting your money's worth. Don't worry about it. That's official recognition from the Red Sox organization. I know. It's crazy, Jack. It really is. I'm so grateful. From Miami, I think I already said that, but welcome in, Adrian. Saw the Woo Sox game in Syracuse last year. Yeah, the stadium is Polar Park is awesome. Is Worcester where Chris Sale beat up that TV? Ben, not a single one of your glasses is half full, is it? Oh, Ben, you cracked me up, man. Yeah, I think so. No, I think it was either Portland or it was either Portland. I thought David Hamilton just got picked off at third base. How's Turner doing? Turner's good. Good. It was that was such a scary moment. That was so terrifying. I was nervous to cover it on the YouTube. I didn't know how to approach it. But he's doing good. He's doing good. No concussion, no broken bones, nothing like that. He got 16 stitches that should be coming out in a couple of weeks. Cora didn't deny the possibility of him even being ready for opening day. So that's gone? No, it's double. Let's go. Man, the prospects on this team is crazy. Prospect on this team is crazy. Do I ever make it to, what's the Woo Sox podcast I'm going to be on? It's called Woo Sox Insider, I believe. Palka's looked good, man. I don't know where they're going to, like, what sort of role he would even be on, but any chance we finish at least third in the East this year? I think so, yeah. Is Modesty going to become a utility player? I don't think a utility player is the right word. I think that he'll be used between shortstop and second base. I don't think he'll play anywhere else. They're definitely not going to put him in the outfield. They're definitely not doing any of that. Just got in. Welcome, Prodigy. Has there ever been a year where all levels of an organization have won it all, say from AA up? I would guess probably not. Oh my God, I thought Rafaela just... Did he just go yard? Oh no, he didn't. Whew. I thought Rafaela just hit one to the moon. Mondese's going to be an interesting player on this team. Would have wanted Iglesias back, but excited nonetheless. I would agree. I would agree for sure. I think Mondesi has a huge... I think Mondesi has a huge ceiling. But the problem is he just needs to stay healthy. That's the problem. Sorry, Chad. I got to hit you with an ad. I'm under quota here. Don't be mad at me. Tapia or Duvall? Duvall all day. At least to start the season. Duvall all day. Yeah, I thought that ball was going to hit the moon. It's probably not a really great angle for you guys to watch me drink water at, huh? It's probably a really weird angle for you guys. Another run. Man, I'm behind. Man, this Red Sox team, I'm getting excited about it, Chad. I'm getting really, really excited. I was excited before, but watching this play, and I know, I keep telling myself, it's spring training, Corbin. It's spring training, Corbin. It's spring training, Corbin. That's all I keep saying to myself, but there's a lot to get excited about right now. Now, they call it an infield single on Rafaela. Rafaela, plate discipline-wise, looks really good. We're beating an entire country. Every single person from Puerto Rico we are beating right now. Hey, Chad, is there anyone in here who is either from Puerto Rico or near Puerto Rico? I need some help with pronunciation. Is it Puerto Rico? Is it Puerto Rico? I think it's Puerto. Puerto is how they spell it. If you're from Puerto Rico. So would it be, I think it's Puerto Rico. It is the first one? Yeah, I thought it was Puerto Rico. I'm happy about this year's prospects. We have a lot of guys who have overachieved, and I have to admit I'm not confident, but I'm more excited than before. That's fair. So it is Puerto. 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 I just want to make sure, Chad, I've always been bad with pronunciation. I'm probably saying that word wrong. So especially, as my audience grows and we get more people from different backgrounds, I'd love to make sure that Yeah, J Big. That's exactly how I've been pronouncing it too. But I'm pretty sure, when Kike says Puerto Rico. So I'm gonna start saying it like that. Call me stupid. Red Sox organization look like a team that shocks everybody. You ain't stupid, Carr. I completely agree. What's up, Sox Arizona? What is your prediction for AL East standings? Good question. I actually have a video about that if you want to check it out. It's on the channel. It's predicting the entire Red Sox season. But if you want the short version here, I'm going to say Blue Jays get in the 90s for wins. I think the Yankees come in second. And I know. But they only beat us, in my opinion, by a couple of games. I think the reason for that is because Aaron Judge is going to carry. There's the link, chat. If anyone wants to become a member, it's right in the chat right now. If you want to get access to that members-only live stream, if you want to get access to the emojis, the separate community tab, if you want to get access to any of that, click on that link. We also have pre-series analysis as well. Yeah, Jack. You're 100% right. Getting 2021 vibes right now. Oh, right. Back to the AL East standings. Toronto, New York, barely. Red Sox, Orioles. Red Sox, Orioles, Rays. Honestly, I could see the Rays flipping too, but they just lost Glasnow. Somewhere I thought I read Franco might not be ready for opening day. That seems untrue, but I'm not sure. Dude, this team, chat, they just don't lose. Why is a Red Sox player facing another Red Sox player? Oh, yeah, wait, what? Chat. Why is there a Red Sox player facing another Red Sox player? My guess would be Puerto Rico doesn't want to use their entire pitchers because they play what? They play for the next 3 days straight. That'd be my guess as to why they're not using it. But that is wild. I've never seen that before. Very strange. My only concern is us not putting it over the wall enough. Puerto Rico surrendered. They were like, we had enough. You're going to beat us up. You're going to beat up your own player. Back to the Red Sox not being able to put it over the wall enough, I think is a bit overblown, right? Thanks, Corey, for that. I think it's the bit overblown in terms of the power on this team. Because if you look at the lineup up to down, right? Up and down. That's what I was looking for. Up and down. You do have guys who very, very likely are going to have 20 plus home runs. Multiple, right? Devers is obviously in that category. Duvall's most likely in that category. Turner with the monster could be in that category. From everything we heard, Yoshida's in that category. Right? So it's I think the power is going to be something that is wildly underrated this year. I also think, a lot of the supplemental guys, the Kikes, the Arroyos, the Verdugos, the Reese McGuires, all those guys, they have the potential to hit 10 plus home runs as well. I don't know if Reese McGuire gets to 10 plus, but I would almost guarantee that Kike does. I would almost guarantee that Verdugo does. Power situation's less important than giving Devers a lot of protection. Yeah. And I think that's why very early on, Cora was like, look, we're putting Turner behind Devers wherever Devers is. And I think that's a fantastic idea. Turner is a very, very hard guy to strike out. And he's at the very least a guy who has the potential to put a ball in play. And that's kind of scary if you're a pitcher, right? say you put Duvall behind for Devers all year, right? The guys are going to be like, I would much rather take my chances at a guy who strikes out a lot than a guy who's really hard to strike out. And I think that's going to help a lot with this Red Sox lineup. And you can put other guys there as well to protect Devers. You know, especially if you go 2, 3, and 4 is Devers, Turner, and Yoshida. That's 3 guys in a row to most likely open up a game that are extremely difficult to strike out. This entire lineup's pretty hard to strike out. Outside of like Kike, Duvall, and career-wise, Reese McGuire, everyone else is really hard to strike out. Trevor, welcome to the standing room, my guy. Thank you so much. It should pop up in a second. You are going to have access to the member-only live streams that'll happen once a month throughout the regular season. Well, actually, it'll happen every month for the rest of the year. Everyone, give some claps to Trevor in the chat. They also were Red Sox first baseman. Game's such a blowout, they're giving Will Middlebrooks Dells. I just almost went to grab an old cup. Can Bale be eligible for Rookie of the Year? No. Do I like Sogard? I do like Sogard. Yeah, there's just not really a ton of spots. Which players you hesitant to talk positively about on the Red Sox? I'm not really hesitant to talk positively about anyone. What I will say is I do think the most regression over the course of a season is going to come from Reese McGuire. And I'm not saying that because I think he's going to have a bad year, but he's not going to hit 330 for us. He's just simply not. He's probably going to go down 100 average points. I disagree. If Yoshi has little power, we're in trouble. That's no power from either corner in either corner spot. Yeah, I guess so. But at the same time too, right? If Duvall hits 30 home runs and Yoshida hits 15, that's still 45 home runs. That's more home run coverage throughout a lineup than we had last year for the Red Sox. You know, if you have, and then Justin Turner gives you another 15, 20. And then Devers gives you 25, 30, 35, 40. God knows. Devers could hit 75, and I wouldn't be shocked. Casas is another guy I think people kind of forget about when they're talking about the lack of power on this team. Casas is an easy candidate for 25 plus home runs. I don't think he'll get there this year. I think this year he'll be around 20, but still 20 home runs from our first base position hasn't happened since Bobby Dahlbeck in 21, where he was really good for 2-3 months. If we were in any other AL division, I feel like we would be rated better than we are. Yes, I totally agree, Tom. I think the division you're in has a lot. Exactly. Good points on Turner. Really hoping the ball to his face injury doesn't have a carryover effect, both in his game and personal well-being. He's such a good player. Yeah. I think Justin Turner's the type of guy, man, where he just, he's a baller. I think he'll be all right. We're unstoppable right now. I love that everyone's down in the squad. I am too, Gabriel. I've seen from another live stream people being able to do milestone messages. Interesting. Let me see if I can. Maybe I can set that up right now. I haven't seen it yet, so I'll take a look. I don't know where that would be, but yeah, I'd love. You guys should be able to do milestone messages. I don't know. I'm still kind of new to the whole membership thing, so obviously there are going to be bumps in the road for me as well. Let me see if I can figure it out, though, for you guys. Memberships. I don't see anything from milestone messages. I'll have to take a look, Mike, because again, I'd love to be able to get you guys to do that. I'm looking, Chad. I promise. I'll figure this out after, Mike. I'll get that for you. I'll figure it out. Sorry, Chad. Happens on your monthly anniversary? Okay. When did you... I'll look into it, Mike. I promise. I think we should start our AAA team in the major leagues. Did anybody see Pedro give away shirts they're running in May? No, I haven't. What do they look like, Brendan? I also think the clubhouse is going to be way better. Less old guys on expiring deals who know they're gone. I would agree with that, yeah. Have you read about Cam Bozer's story? He would make a great video for you, in my opinion. I have not. Is he a Red Sox player? Because if he's... I mainly focus on Red Sox stuff. Hey, let's not forget Bobby Dahlbeck hit 25 home runs. I understand he had a struggling season. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Bob could turn it around. I just don't know if he's going to be able to get the opportunity to do that. Who do you think the veteran was that got annoyed with Casas sunbathing? Well, I know it's a pitcher, and I know it's a veteran pitcher, and I know it's not Native Vald. It's not Sale. I would guess Native Valdi. I don't know. Who do you Corbin, do you have a World Series AL, NL MVP and Cy Young predictions? Cy Young. Start there. I'm trying to think National League guys. I think Zach Gallen has a good chance of winning a Cy Young. But Sandy, if Sandy does the same thing he did last season, he's going to be an easy Cy Young winner. Also, you got to include Spencer Strider in there maybe. It's going to be tough for the NL Cy Young. AL Cy Young. I'm going to go. I think Dylan Cease finally gets one. AL NL MVP. NL MVP, I'm going to go Mookie. I think Mookie has a crazy season. AL MVP, it's so hard. If Ohtani is just a normal Ohtani season, it's so hard to beat that. I mean, you literally have to set a record, right, to beat him. So I'm going to go Ohtani, and I think the winner of the World Series, the Boston Red Sox. They're fire. It's like a 2000 vintage look. Oh, yeah, I did see that. I didn't know that was a giveaway. I got to go to that. That's lit. I would love to get one of those. Do you think Dahlbeck or Duran have any trade value in the trade market? Yeah, I think they do have value. I think Duran has more value for sure. And that's why I said if you're not going to put Bobby Dahlbeck on the Major League bench, put him in AAA, let him mash, and let him mash and let him bring up his own value. Because I think Bob could be good. I just think Bob isn't going to get an everyday chance at the Major League level this year. Lefty relievers should be the trade deadline end all. end all be all for Boston. Possibly. It kind of depends, right? Because you have Joely, you've got Richard Blyer, you've got this guy Ryan Sheriff, who could be an option. You got a couple of lefty options in coming out of the bullpen. It just sort of depends on how they perform, right? Because a couple of those guys are kind of unproven. Joely had great peripherals last year, but it didn't translate to legitimate run-saving opportunities. So maybe he has that sort of similar thing again. Ryan Sheriff's looked good so far in spring training, but you never know what's going to happen. So I don't know. I wouldn't guarantee that a lefty reliever is going to be the one. I feel like it's either Evaldi or Barnes. Could be, Jay. Could be. I love that your channel is all Red Sox. Only team we need to know about. Appreciate it, man. I mean, it's the only thing I know well enough to make YouTube videos about. Yeah. Who was your legitimate first favorite Red Sox player? It was Kevin Youkilis. How far do you think the Red Sox are going to go in the playoffs? Right now, having played no games, I say they get to the divisional round. But if they get off to a hot start in May, I'm changing that. They're going all the way. Does Song stay with the Phillies? No shot. No shot Dave Dombrowski's going to put Noah Song on the 26-man roster for a full year. No, it's not going to happen. Who are the two that are going to clear space on the 40-man roster? I don't know. I don't know if they're even gonna clear space, right? Alfaro and Tapia aren't guaranteed yet. I would do Alfaro. I think you can save Tapia. I don't think he needs to be added to this 40-man roster yet. And to clear space for Alfaro, it's pretty easily Caleb Ort. Pretty easily. Boozer pitched this spring for both Sox. He was an old AAA pitcher right out of the movie The Rookie. Huh. I didn't know that. I'll look into that, JB. Sounds pretty good. What's up, Kevin? Penn State? I have a couple of friends that went to Penn State. Seems like a fun place. What was Tapia's home runs looking like? I didn't even take a look at Tapia's home runs. Let me see. Let me take a look at what Tapia's home runs look like. Actually, I'll just do this. I think he only had like 7 or 8, right? Oh, good. Okay, here we go. Coming. He had, he had 7. So, power isn't crazy. What did he have for doubles? I mean, he did have 20 doubles. His biggest home run year was 9. He had 23 doubles with Colorado, but only 75 OPS plus. I mean, his best year production-wise was 2020. Uh-oh. Oh, whew. I thought whoever was in left field there was going to miss that. So I wouldn't consider Tapia a slugger by any means. 380 OPS is below average. Maybe even at average, I would say. Tapia Ref Snyder every single day. Why does Fitzgerald get so much love when he's never produced? In my opinion, Fitzgerald, one, he's a fun guy to root for. He's definitely a personality in Worcester, right? People in Worcester love him. And he always does well during spring training. Like, he does well enough where even I'm like, man, maybe there's a possibility that, he breaks camp with the opening day roster as a utility guy. And I think that's why he gets so much love, is because he's a fun guy to root for. You think Schreiber and Arroyo will have a similar season to last year? I think Arroyo does better than last year. I would say there's some regression in Schreiber. Caleb Smith, left-handed relief pitcher, worth a trade? I'm sure they'll take a look at it. Scale 1 to 10, what is your outlook of optimism for the bullpen this year? 8 or 9. I'm really excited about this bullpen. I think it could have been a little bit better. I think there's some guys who could fumble a little bit, especially early on. But I think overall, our bullpen compared to last year is going to be night and day. What platform am I watching the game on? I bought Nesson 360. I love it, actually. Tapia is not better than Rob Refsnyder. No. At least for what the Red Sox need, he's not. Do you think Bayo will be ready for opening day? I don't think he'll be ready for opening day, no. And I don't know if that's to mean he's going to be on the IL or anything even, but I think the Red Sox are going to be super careful with how they use Bayo. I think they're going to try and avoid injuries, and that's why they built up so much depth in this rotation. I think I think they'll be careful with him. So I would say no. I don't think he'll be ready for opening day. Joely looks promising. Yeah, Joely looks good tonight. What do you rate this team overall, 1 to 10? What did I give him grade-wise for the offseason, chat? I gave him a B. I'll say a 7.8 for how high I'd rate this team on a scale of 1 to 10. Room for improvement for sure. But overall, I think the team came together really nicely, and I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. They already have people. I mean, there were media members who were just crapping all over this team until all of a sudden they're at spring training. They're like, hey, wait a second. These guys aren't as washed up as I thought they were going to be. This team chemistry is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And they're playing as one cohesive unit. Whoa, wait a second. It's hard being out of New England and catching games. I pay for Xfinity extra innings, but they don't have the option to order yet, so I haven't seen many games. Tom, if you are comfortable using, the internet, like a computer or a phone or something, I would recommend Nesson 360, the app. It's a tiny bit pricey. I don't know how much you're paying for MLB extra or Xfinity extra inning, but if you really only watch Red Sox games and you have regular cable to watch, the major league broadcasts, I would recommend Nesson 360. It's not super bad. You think? I think I already answered that, Prodigy. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, the short porch in Houston's very, very frustrating because it looks like everything's getting out. David Hamilton will debut at any point this year. He hasn't played in AAA yet, so my guess is in terms of pecking order for guys to debut who are in the middle infield, Valdez has to be first, and I don't know when Valdez is going to get a chance to come up here. My guess is they're going to want to see what, because there's certain things for both of these guys that they need to show on a larger scale than they are going to show in spring training. With Valdez, it's defense, right? He's looked okay at second base so far, but in my opinion, the Red Sox are going to want to make sure that he is really good to go at second base before they bring him up to either platoon with a Royal or, heaven forbid a Royal gets injured or something like that. As for David Hamilton, they really like what he can do. They have said multiple times they wanted to put the ball on the ground more. He's okay defensively. Obviously, that speed is elite, and he's got a pretty good bat. But they want to see him put the ball on the ground more. And so, again, and plus he hasn't faced AAA pitching over a larger period of time yet. So, yeah, my guess is that it would go Valdez and then Hamilton in terms of pecking order here. You think Houck will get traded? No. You can't get Nesson 360 outside of New England? Why would they do that? That's weird. Could you do MLB TV? Could you do that, Tom? Finally not a Red Sox pitcher. I know, that's throwing me off. I couldn't figure out who was playing. Wait. Do they have Matthew Lugo on the field right now? They do. They have Matthew Lugo on the field right now. The Vasquez trade certainly looks better than it did a few months ago. Yeah, I would agree. I would 100% agree with that, actually. I think the trade looks really good right now, especially with Valdez in the situation we're in with the middle infield. Yeah, it looks good. Wilyer Abreu also looks really good. Or was it Wilger? I forget which one it was. You never order MLB extra innings before? No. Excuse me. They block all Orioles, Red Sox games and other regional games? Yeah. Yeah, MLB's really bad with blackouts. Do I think Trevor Story will get traded? No. I don't think they'll trade Trevor Story. But Trevor Story's contract's interesting, too, because... it's interesting because... What happened to this? Usually it tells me. I don't care. Oh, that's why. I don't care about that. There we go. Okay, so he's an opt-out after 2026, right? And then the club option's already been declined. There's no way that club option's already been declined. Is that true, Chad? No, we would have heard about that. It's an opt-out here, but only if the Red Sox deny this club option right here. So he's at least locked in for the next 2 years. I really don't think they're going to trade him. Unless obviously, Christian Arroyo has like a banner year and it doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. Or Marcel Meyer comes up and he's insane. So, yeah, he's an opt-out in 2026, but I believe the weird thing was the opt-out was if the Red Sox don't pick up the option. I think that's how it works. I'm not sure here. What's up, Games? Welcome in. Glad you can make it. Story was Heim's first big addition. Yeah, he's the kind of player to build around. I agree, man. I think Trevor Story is such a good athlete and such a good player. I would hate for them to trade him away before we get to see his true full potential. And even if Marcel Meyer's really good and Mikey Romero's really good, those guys aren't going to be really good in the major leagues for 2 years probably after. I don't think he'll ever be shortstop, Brendan. I think even this year they'll put him back at second base when he comes back. But the thing too is the problem everyone had with Trevor Story at shortstop was his arm, and now it's fully healed. Now he's got robo arm. I don't ever think Arroyo will be the odd man out. I think if anything, he'll go back to being a utility type player. I have not gotten the tattoo yet. No, I know. It will happen, Chad. It'll happen. I got a couple of things to figure out before we get there, though. Could you see the Red Sox hiring Pedroia and Pedro as coaches for the team? I think Pedro already kind of does something similar to that. Pedroia he's just not ready yet, man. When he was talking to the media, you could tell. He just, he was so hurt by the game he loves so much. My girlfriend's going to force me at gunpoint to get that tattoo, I think. But, Pedroia will take some time. It'll take some time. And I don't think he'll ever be manager of the team. He coached Bayo. Yeah, Pedro did. Yeah. Hold on, Chad. I lost you. Come on. Yeah, Red Sox Yankees tomorrow should be pretty fun. Should be pretty fun. It'll be cool to see how the prospects match out for both of them. Like how does Volpe, what's the other guy's name? Oswaldo, right? And Peraza. How do they look against Rafaela and Maeda and all those people? I'm so excited for Bayo. Same. I can't wait for a full season of Bayo. Team USA playing San Francisco soon. Yeah, I'll probably tune into that after we get off a stream here. You think Mitch Moreland coaching Dahlbeck's a good sign? I more like Mitch Moreland coaching Tristan Casas. Oof, he got a lot of that. That's way gone. Is it way gone? Yeah, it is. It's all right. Still 2-9. But yeah, I really like the idea of Mitch Moreland because Mitch Moreland was a lefty, right? Or am I going crazy? I thought Mitch Moreland was a lefty. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But kind of similar build to Tristan Casas, and obviously sort of different expectations. But Mitch Moreland's been a guy who was sort of the anchor at first base for the Red Sox, and especially in that 2018 run. And I'm really happy that he finally called it quits, Mitch. I think it'll be good for him. I didn't realize he was on the Red Sox for 2020. Started 2020. I didn't even realize that. But yeah. So he was a left-handed first baseman, kind of similar build to Casas. I think having him coach Casas could be really, really great. It's interesting looking at Mitch Moreland's career. He was a good player, man. That 2018 team, something special. He was an all-star with 15 home runs, a 245 average, and a 102 OPS plus that year too, which is interesting. Puerto Rico's trying hard for that comeback. Yeah, they are. Pete made a comment that he will focus on his children and will consider coaching later in life. Yeah. The Red Sox middle infield needs to be worked still? No, I think we're good. Does the Yankees trade a shortstop? They have to. They have to. I know. I hope we use that. We're going to use that emote games, and we're going to be using the ace emote a lot this season with Chris Sale. I got a feeling, man. Bayo and Mata are very good pitchers. Yeah, Mata's going to have a big impact on this team somehow, some way this year. And I think it's going to be in a bullpen role, especially as we get towards the end of the season with the rotation we have right now. If you could bring Mata up, if you can bring him up towards the end of the year, and you can have him, either piggyback Chris Sale or be that sort of middle relief guy for kind of everybody, and you can have some of these guys like Kluber, Sale, Paxton, even guys like Whitlock and Bayo who are young, who are going to be tired. If you can have them go 5 innings, that sort of middle chunk of the year, that sort of like, late July, mid-August type of time of year. If you can prevent them from having to go 7 innings, and you can have them go 4 or 5, and then have Maeda, Howe, Cutter come in and be those guys to sort of wipe it up for us, I think that it could be excellent. Excellent. Yeah, 2 outs. Game's almost over, Chad. We're about to beat Team Puerto Rico, which is pretty interesting. Do you see the Red Sox getting anyone else, either trading for someone or free agency? Probably not. I don't see there really being any sort of impact players left. Look at this, chat. Last out right here. Why am I so behind? We beat Team Puerto Rico 9-3, chat. This Red Sox team is a wagon in spring training. It's insane. We're beating national teams now. Just put this Red Sox team in the World Baseball Classic. See what they do. Let's just see what they do. let's just see what they do. It'll be interesting. They have been crazy this spring training. I mean, it looks good. And one thing that is super exciting to me about spring training this year is the fact that this team looks cohesive, right? There aren't any players still trying to figure stuff out and different stuff going on. It seems like the Red Sox have figured out the team unity. They're playing as one team, and that is as music to my ears. And that to me, it's more than just the win record to me that's getting me excited. Score 401-1 against the Yankees tomorrow, I believe. We have not lost any games. Yeah, we're still undefeated. It's crazy. But back to that, right? Like, the reason this spring training is getting me excited is outside of the fact that they just keep winning. Because let's be honest here, for the most part, it's our prospects doing that, right? But what gets me excited is, one, the pitching. The pitching looks really good for this Red Sox team right now. But two is just the off the field stuff. Excuse me. They look much more like comfortable and relaxed. They look, the competition that's in this spring training as well. You got guys at multiple different positions battling for a spot. All that does is breed competition. And what does competition breed? Excellence, right? And so it's good signs early on in spring training here. Again, I'm not saying that because of the spring training we're going to go 97 wins or something crazy like that, but this is a good sign. It's a good sign. You're right. I need to stop talking because you're right. I'm going to jinx us. Who would you rather see have a good year? McGuire, Duvall, or Dahlbeck? Well, McGuire is going to have a decent year. But Duvall is the guy we kind of need. So I'm going to go Duvall there. The USA lineup is scary. Yeah, that USA lineup is disgusting. When do they play? Anyone know? Anyone know, chat? Now? They're playing now? Oh. Who are they playing? San Francisco? I don't know. I'll figure it out once I get off stream. I probably won't stay on to watch that with you guys as well. I gotta get some stuff done here. Their first official game is 11. Yeah, I do want to kind of see what they look like early here. I'm rooting for Team USA, but man, Team DR, with Rafi on it, it's gonna be tough with all these Red Sox players. Mexico will be a fun one to watch with Verdugo and Duran. Kike will be a fun one to watch in Puerto Rico. Korea versus Australia. I'll probably be good with that one. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a ton of fun players to watch in the WBC. Mexico's going to be fun. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mexico's going to be a fun one to watch. All right, chat. Game's over. We're practicing for the regular season. So we're going to end stream here. What I'm going to say, though, is for those of you who are members of the channel and are waiting for the members only live stream, I will give you an official date probably sometime this week towards the end of it. I'll make sure that you guys know that. You guys get a heads up on that. If you guys want to be a member and want to have access to live streams and series analysis, make sure you guys hit the link in my description, become a member. I promise you it's going to be a great year for that. As always, thank you all very much for stopping by. I appreciate it. We've been live now for just over 2 hours, almost 2:15, and some of you guys have been here the whole time, and it was incredible. You guys are the absolute best. Mike, I'm going to figure that out for you so you guys get the recognition you deserve. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe button if you haven't already. And so we'll be live probably next Wednesday or 2 Wednesdays from now. Maybe that might honestly be opening day. We'll figure it out, chat. We'll be here. I'm remembering it, Mike. I'm remembering it. Thank you to my beautiful girlfriend for gifting some subs. Thank you to Trevor for becoming a member. And as always, guys, I will see you